Hello everyone and welcome to the news from Al-Shuruq TV. In our main headlines tonight, Hamdok receives a message from the U.S. Secretary of State dealing with situations in Sudan. Washington praises peaceful process sponsored by Juba. Flooding levels dwindle in some points while remaining higher in others. Welcome to the news. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo sent a message to Prime Minister Dr. Abdullah Hamdok to get briefed on the current situations in Sudan. While on a visit to the Qatari capital Doha, the U.S. official got acquainted with magnitude of floods disaster experienced by Sudan. He confirmed the United States' support to the Sudanese people to overcome the crisis. For his part, the Prime Minister hailed the U.S. Secretary of State, stressing significance of boosting cooperation and bilateral relations in favor of both people's common concern. On the same issue, the Prime Minister, Dr. Abdullah Hamdok, received a phone call from the Finnish Foreign Minister on the floods-affected areas. Considered as unprecedented record-breaking, the floods left dozens of residents with no shelter, while death toll mounted at least 100 persons. The Finnish Foreign Minister affirmed his country's sustained support to the Sudan to surpass the catastrophe. Both underscored the promoted cooperation to press ahead with Sudanese and Finnish profound ties at various domains. An aircraft with humanitarian aid on board arrived in Khartoum Airport today. Offered by the United Arab Emirates Red Crescent in accordance with the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi directives, the relief targets the residents hit recently by flooding and downpours. The aid contains foodstuff, makeshift shelter and medical materials. The aircraft was received by the Sudanese Commissioner of Humanitarian Aid, the Emirates Embassy Advisor and military attaché. The Emirates' continued cooperation was hailed by the Commissioner, who asserted that both nations maintain deep-rooted ties. A workshop on infrastructure and transport sectors is to be kicked off tomorrow in Khartoum. Held under the motto, Overall Reform and Economic Development, the deliberations come in the context of the first economic conference. The two-day workshop will be launched under the auspices of the Infrastructure and Transport Minister, the designate Hashim Ibn Auf, who will address the participants. Targeting the developed infrastructure sector, 17 action papers will be presented by competent experts. Washington praised the progress in peaceful process leading to deals signed recently in southern Sudan capital Juba. It expressed willingness to sustain the Sudanese government efforts aimed to curb the flooding impact. The Department of State revealed the American administration that discussed with the Prime Minister Hamdok a mechanism of contribution due to be extended to Sudan. This was unearthed in a communique by all Secretary of State, putting emphasis on continued partnership to advance Sudan transition to democracy. Ministry of Irrigation Flood Commission declared a decrease in the River Nile levels at some points while remaining higher at Jebel Awliya Reservoir and the White Nile other points. This came after heavy rains caused River Nile to reach record-breaking levels. The government has declared a state of emergency after weeks of torrential downpours that led to flooding in all Sudan's 18 states. A Ghanaian striker, Michael, is underway to join Merrikh Club, a reliable source disclosed. The professional footballer has prominent experience with Senegalese clubs. The Merrikh officials are conducting measures in collaboration with their Senegalese counterparts to complete his transition to the Sudanese teams. And now we remind you with the headlines. Hamdok receives a message from the U.S. Secretary of State dealing with situations in Sudan. Washington praises peaceful process sponsored by Juba. Flooding levels dwindle in some points while remain higher in others. Well, that was everything for tonight. Thank you for following and see you tomorrow.